Good acceleration. Oh wow. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Mazda CX-9 in the Touring Plus package. First and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Southtown Mazda here in Utah for giving me some time with the CX-9. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Let's pop right into the video. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being over 250 horsepower and then 310 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the CX-9. Now we're going to start with the headlights because they're timed and they'll pop up in a little bit. So you guys can see we've got the gigantic projector bulbs, and yeah, super bright, and they help this car have amazing visibility at night. I can attest to that because I did have a CX-9 as a loaner for a little bit. Anyways, you guys can see here with the body lines, they look fantastic. You still have that massive broad hood, which again gives this a really nice upscale luxury look. And then you have the large front grille with the Mazda logo in the center that doubles as a sensor. There's parking sensors along the bottom portion, and overall the CX-9 still looks great. Also, I love how this trim kind of all connects. It's like a little smiley face. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped on 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear, and that is parts of this package. You get the blacked out 20-inch wheels. They look absolutely fantastic, and they give this kind of like a sportier type aesthetic. And then here's a quick look at the front suspension. You guys can see we've got the fender flares here, and that bodywork continues all along the side to the rear. And then notice that everything's pretty much body colored. We do have some chrome trim around the windows, and then also for the rails, which kind of breaks things up a little bit. But again, with the black wheels and the fact that they're 20s definitely adds to this and makes it look great. Here's the key fob for the CX-9. You got the Mazda logo, and then on the side of it you've got the lock, the unlock, and then the opening here for the rear hatch, which just hold that down for a second and it'll pop open. And let's actually pop back here. So by the way, this car hasn't been unwrapped yet, which is very exclusive access, and I think that's pretty cool for us to be able to see kind of what it's like before all the wrapping is taken off. But you guys can see underneath here we've got some extra storage. We got the floor mats that come with the CX-9 as well, and then you've got these little levers right here, so you can throw down the third row. Gives you a little bit of extra storage space, which is definitely nice. We're going to kind of tuck that in nicely, and then press this, and it'll actually close the hatch. There you go. Now let's finish things up here with the rear. So first off, I love how this trim piece connects the taillights in the back, and then you do have Mazda's kind of like signature taillights. I've always liked the design on them overall. Got our SkyActiv G badge there, and then you got your CX-9 all-wheel drive badge on the other side. Parking sensors all along the bottom portion. We have our dual outlet exhaust tips that make it look a little bit more aggressive, a little bit sportier, which again kind of makes sense with this particular package. Here's the door panel in the rear. So first off, notice how we have the sunshade for the rear passengers. We've got nice padding just down below. And then notice, again, everything's all wrapped up. I don't know, I think it's cool to see. But you guys can see we've got these really nice leather seats underneath all of the wrapping here in the rear. But moving from that, you guys can see we have the climate zone here for the rear passengers. You've got all the little controls for that. We've got some more cup holders down below. We've got lots of wrapping everywhere. And then you guys can kind of see the storage space with all of that. And then you can see the speaker for the Bose sound system. Definitely a great sound system. Again, I had a CX-9 loaner for a week, and I can attest to the sound system is really good. But overall, if you guys are wondering, well, here, we'll throw that over there, and I'll pop in so you guys can see legroom and headroom as well. Now, I have been in the back of the CX-9, and you can actually fit adults back there. It's got a decent amount of legroom back here for being a smaller size third row SUV. So I would say kids for long trips, but you can fit adults back there comfortably. Let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. Again, you can see really nice padding down below. We've got all of our window controls, the door lock and unlock, mirror adjustments. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring, and again, another speaker for the Bose sound system down below. And then here are the seats at the front. So you guys can see really nice leather here with the stitching. You've got the perforated leather here down the center, and you guys can see all of the bolstering off to the side. Power adjustments there on the side. We've got our memory seat function, pedal layout down below. And then we've got that for the hood latch release, and then we have this for the gas, and then you guys can see stability, or it's not stability control. Stability control is not there. That's the lane departure. Parking sensors, that's for your hill climb assist. We've got this for the tailgate operation. Man, I guess it's too early in the morning for me to review cars, but anyways, let's pop in. Here is the steering wheel in the CX-9. Really nice leather all around. We've got the blacked out stitching in the center portion. We do have adaptive cruise control. We've got controls for the center stack, volume controls, phone controls, voice command controls, all that fun stuff. Turn signal, light stock, not turn signal, but windshield wiper stock. And that's all for the steering wheel. Now here's the center gauge cluster. Let's see if I can make it through this clip without making any mistakes. And I guess that Ben Hardy should not review cars before 12 p.m. because apparently I can't talk. Anyways, we've got analog gauges for these two, and then this one's kind of a screen, and it's in similar format to what Porsche used to do, and I think this is just a really nice aesthetic. Kind of like pops out, and again, I don't know, I like how it looks. Anyways, you've got that info button you can press that scrolls through a bunch of different screens here with this portion. And yeah, overall, I think that Mazda nailed it. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, we're gonna pop it into reverse. You guys can see we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines, and resolution on the camera is actually really solid. Now, moving on from that, we do have the rest of the controls here for the center infotainment system. Sorry, my camera keeps going in and out of focus with this. If you guys are wondering, this is not a touchscreen. As you can see, it's controlled via a dial. Mazda basically sees this as safer than a touchscreen because then you can just reach down, dial, and then do that rather than reaching out and doing touchscreen stuff and all that fun jazz. But anyways, functionality on it's really good. It's easy to use. So you guys can see going to like entertainment, for example, and you can see just how easy it is to scroll through all the different menus, go back to the home page, all that fun stuff. And so yeah, that's that. We got our hazard light button right there, and then down below here you guys can see that we have our climate controls. This does again have a tri-zone climate because you have the climate in the rear and then the two in the front, and then we have heated and cooled seats with this package for the front passengers, living the life of luxury. And then you guys can see we've got a phone charger right there, the shifter for that 6-speed automatic. We do have a sport mode which you can go into, and then that'll pop up right there with the sport mode. But yeah, nice setup with all of this. We've got the analog controls here for, well, the only controls to the infotainment system, rather. Parking brake, auto hold. We've got some cup holders down below, and then you guys can see the center console, which opens up either way. It's got some USBs in it, decent storage space as well. Nice padding here on the top. And then you guys can see the glove box situation. Definitely a nice touch. And also notice with the headliner, there is also a sunroof, but it's lighter in color, so it kind of lightens up the interior a little bit. Got one of the little mirrors. And also this has auto mirror dimming, and yeah. So sorry, there's quite a bit of glare because of the time of day now, but anyways, 2022 CX-9. As for this Touring Plus package, it comes with quite a bit as standard. The only thing that's been added to this, and you guys probably can just see me not in the window sticker, is the second row captain chairs. Everything else is standard equipment that you guys saw in today's video. But anyways, $42,885 for the total MSRP, and let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, and then throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. We are setting off here in the CX-9, and again, it's been quite some time since I've driven one of these, but man, does it drive good. I forgot how nice this is. I've been reviewing a lot of the big, bulky third row SUVs that are made by the American brands, right? You know, like the new Jeep Grand Cherokee L, Ford Explorer, all that kind of stuff. That's also in this segment. And this is kind of refreshing because of how small it drives. Like, it's just as practical from a space perspective, but the steering feels so much more precise. The steering wheel feels better. And this just has like a zippy feel that those vehicles don't have. And again, for being a third row SUV, it's super impressive. You know what? Despite my inability to talk, maybe this should be the time of day to review cars, because there's like no traffic compared to when I normally review. Anyways, let's get an acceleration. Oh, wow. So I was told that this is more responsive than last year. They've kind of tuned things differently, and you can feel it. You can definitely feel the difference. In terms of just the transmission response, especially, I'll pop back into sport mode and then do the manual mode. Yes. Just yes from Ben Hardy. Yeah, the transmission's definitely more responsive. Yeah, so they've definitely tuned things up with the 6-speed, so it definitely drives significantly more responsive than last year. So that is a huge improvement. Aside from that, it's still super comfortable from a ride quality perspective. Like, when you go over stuff, doesn't upset it. It's a really good, like, luxury car. Really good luxury car. Someone had an accident right there. Yeah, it's great. This feels great. So I guess we'll get into selling things up here with this new CX-9 and this package, right? So first off, exterior-wise, the CX-9 hasn't been updated with the exterior in quite some time, but it's held the test of time, I would say. I still, when I see these, I still think it's a good-looking vehicle. It has that luxury car look to it. And again, that's kind of what Mazda goes for, is luxury looks and luxury interior without luxury prices. So yeah, the CX-9 still does that, exterior-wise. Interior-wise, yeah, seats are really nice. Touch points are nice. The main touch points, especially like the steering wheel, the shifter, the seats that you'll be sitting on, right, are really nice. And then a lot of the controls feel and look really nice with the material use, like the climate controls and all that. So I think that Mazda did a really good job with balancing out, making this, you know, feel luxury-like, but also, you know, doing some stuff like, you know, plastic buttons here and there that, you know, you're not going to press all the time, that will help keep the cost down. So they've definitely done a nice balance. And driving wise, it's super smooth, it's super comfortable, but it actually drives sporty. So if you're more of like an enthusiast where you want to have a little bit of fun, but you know, you got to have a third row SUV for kids, this is a really nice balance. Definitely drives better than, you know, Grand Cherokee L, Ford Explorer, all that kind of stuff. You know, you might be able to get more power with those vehicles, but they're a lot heavier, so they just have that more hefty type feel to them. You're heaving around weight, so it's like you get this good acceleration, but when you go around a corner, it kind of falls apart a little bit. It's the best way to put it. And the pricing of this is amazing. This is a really good value. So yeah, if you are looking for a third row SUV and you want a really good value, drives amazing, the CX-9 is fantastic. And I know that I've, you know, touted the new Grand Cherokee L because it's such it's a really nice vehicle. However, this is like $6,000 less than a Grand Cherokee L Limited, and this is just as nice as a Limited, and the acceleration is right there too. And this actually does better at elevation because this is turbocharged, whereas that Grand Cherokee L is a V6. So if I were in the market, I would actually buy this over Grand Cherokee L, considering the price point. Now let's get to sum things up for our video on this 2022 Mazda CX-9. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Southtown Mazda here in Utah for giving me some time with the CX-9. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.